Ongaku Concepto.
Happy New Year, everyone! This week I'm going to explain to you what is possibly one of the most important chord progressions in video game music. It can be heard everywhere, from old chiptune stuff to modern orchestral works. It's a catchy, driving chord progression that can be used in lots and lots of different ways, and I am positive that you have heard it before. You have just been educationally rickrolled. As the previous example shows, the most likely theory is that the Japanese picked this up from 80s European dance and pop music, where it found its way into just about every genre imaginable. Not all of those examples sound exactly alike. It's a really versatile chord progression that can be altered in many different ways. So with that said, the basic progression is 4, 5, 3, 6. If you're familiar with Roman numeral notation, in the key of C, this would be F major, G major, E minor, and A minor. A lot of the time, the sevenths are included, which would make this F major 7, G7, E minor 7, and A minor 7. It's also really common to leave F on the bass as the G7 chord comes in, so that would put the 5 chord in third inversion. Let's take this chord by chord. The 4 chord is a great chord to start a progression or sequence on because it has this sense of movement. It's not tense, but it kind of says, hey, we're going somewhere with this. The 5 chord builds the tension a little bit and prepares you for the 3 chord. The 3 chord resolves some of that tension, but keeps it moving. It's another one of those chords that you don't want to just leave there. It wants to go somewhere. And finally, we resolve at the 6th chord. Even if you're not in a minor key, the 6th chord is a really good chord to end a sequence on, and from here, you're allowed to go pretty much wherever you want with it. You could repeat this progression again, or you could go in some other direction. In the context of a song, it's really common for the 6th chord to be followed by either a 2 chord or a 4 chord in preparation for a cadence. For example, in Piranha Plant's Lullaby from Super Mario 64, that song is in the key of G, and you've got your 4, 5, 3, 6 progression right at the start, followed by a 4 chord and then a 5 to 1 cadence before the progression loops back around. If you want to study that song in particular, I've got a transcription of it on the website at ongakuconcept.com if you want to take a look at that. As I said before, this is a very, very versatile chord progression. You can alter any of these chords to introduce more tension or reduce it and lead it in other directions. It has a really distinct sound, so even if you're hearing an alteration of it, it's usually pretty easy to pick up on. This is really just one of my favorite chord progressions. I hear it a lot, especially in more emotional parts of songs. When I first learned about it, I would listen to songs and realize that some of my favorite parts of songs usually had this chord progression involved. Now, if you found this a bit too easy and you want to know more about some of the advanced substitutions for this chord progression, I will be making either a video or a blog post on these substitutions at some point. Also, if you want some quick listening practice, go listen to any anime opening ever, because they use it a lot. This week's album of the week is the Shovel Knight original soundtrack composed by Jake Kaufman. Jake is a phenomenal composer, and his extensive knowledge of music theory really helps push his music into another level. He composed the entire soundtrack using a free Famicom chiptune tracker, if that tells you anything about his skill level. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions at all, feel free to ask, and I will see you all next week.